I've had it for a couple of years and really haven't driven it all that much. It had 36,000 miles on it when I got it. It's got just over 40,000 on it right now. And the main reason, I'm going to move inside because it's windy as hell out here today, and it'll probably be breezy. But the main reason I don't drive it is because it shifts terribly. This thing is the worst vehicle I've ever owned when it comes to shifting. And I think the main issue is down in the transmission itself. I've got the shifter out. It is smooth as silk and the springs are very tight. I've seen a lot of comments on T56s on the board, and people do have this issue. What I've got is the thing will not spring center. No matter what you do to it, it will not spring to between third and fourth gear. It'll stick in first or second. It'll stick over at fifth and sixth. It will not return. And this is the only part of the transmission you can get at from the top. So I found a video online of somebody who was having a similar problem, and a guy who had just had his rebuilt made a video of this exact location on his transmission, and he could flip this. This is in neutral, mind you, right now. Flip this back and forth, but barely touching it, and it would just snick, snick, snick perfectly. You saw what I just did there. I mean, I got to put a large screwdriver on it, and it is, and put about a pound of force at this. So it's taking a lot of torque to move this, and it shouldn't. This should just click, click, click back and forth, and forward and backward is brutally stiff as well. That's less worrisome because, you know, first to second and third to fourth, fifth to sixth I can deal with. It's trying to shift from second to third. It's not possible in this truck, so it really takes all the enjoyment out of driving it, at least driving it in a spirited manner. This thing is going out for a rebuild because, I mean, I hate spending $2,000 to rebuild the transmission on a truck that I, you know, paid a good amount of money for. But, you know, buyer beware. You get something that's 13 years old with I'm the 5th owner now according to Carfax, so, and this poor thing has lived a hard life, I'm thinking. I like this truck. It's enjoyable, but it's a just miserable driving experience when you're trying to screw with it because of that shifter problem. And it isn't the shifter. There's something in that transmission that is binding up that shift mechanism. And there's no springs in the transmission to move it back to center. That's all done by the shifter. So this is something amiss in the transmission. Anyway, I'm gonna keep you all posted as to what I find, because this is a not terribly uncommon problem. It's not every day, but I see a lot of T56s across all different brands and installations that have people complaining about this issue. And if I can figure out what the hell it is and get it fixed, then maybe we can help some of these people. But anyway, hope you have a good day. Okay, so we're getting it back together. Just about everything's done except putting all the interior pieces and the shifter back on. And again, for the T56 people who are having trouble with the shifter, if you take your shifter off, and if you can't move this with one finger, that's a problem in the transmission. It has nothing to do with your shifter. It's the bushings that are up here inside the transmissions have gone bad and grabbed onto the shaft, and there's nothing you can do to fix that other than, I guess you can rebuild it, but send it to somebody who knows what they're doing, because these are complicated transmissions. But hate to break it to you, that's not a cheap way to go. Probably minimum $1,600 to get it redone, but take my word for it, I think you'll be happy you did.